We are gearing up for the next Little Tree concert, which is happening next Saturday. That's May 9th. The performer's Barbara Nesbitt. And we are just going to continue. We're going to keep showing up for artists in the way we can to support them in this pandemic times. I don't know what to call it, but that's what it is. And I think it's putting us all in touch with how important the arts are for us and how we depend on them as we're streaming movie after movie and listening to music. And I see some of my friends I see online by their social media posts that they're picking up the guitar, they're learning an instrument. And so I think it makes it especially clear that it's important for us to keep showing up for our artists. And thank you, all you lovely people. I have a couple coffee mugs I'm putting in the mail and a tote bag. Somebody's getting a tote bag because they want a tote bag. Well, that's because I said, would you like a tote bag? People were so generous in their donations and enthusiastic, and thank you for doing that, and let's just keep on doing it. One of the things that I mentioned is Patreon, a subscription service, and I want to make it clear that any amount is fair game with Patreon. And, an amount, if it's the difference between not sponsoring somebody because you don't think you have the money and donating $1 a month to an artist Patreon account or, some collection of artists, that is actually a really good solution because a lot of these artists have 5,000, 10,000 fans who would be willing to do that, and $5,000 or $10,000 per month donated $1 per time makes a huge difference. It makes sure that person's art will be in the world for you if we can stabilize their income in that way. So, I know I mentioned larger numbers like $10 a month or $20 a month. Maybe that's your entire budget for support, and finding 20 artists and $1 a month works. Do it. If you go to littletreeacoustic.com, you can find all the artists who've played here who have Patreon accounts. There's a subscribe button next to their name, and that'll just give you an avenue. There's also a link to their web pages where you can buy their CDs or what have you. So thank you for doing that, all you beautiful people. Also, if you want rum cake in the mail, I'm going to send some rum cake to Barbara before showtime. And like last time, some people took me up on it. Pat Smith in Denver, I put a cake in the mail to her. And I will do it for you. It's just a fun thing we do. And if you'd rather make it yourself, I'll post a link with the recipe and instructions on how to do it. So let's see, a couple things we're going to do a little differently from lessons learned from past shows. One thing we're going to do is we're going to shift the time an hour earlier, 7 p.m. Colorado time, so people on the East Coast are not up so late. So we're giving you 1 hour back. I hope that's enough. Just trying to hit a sweet spot for the whole country because people are showing up from all over the country, and that's great. The other thing we're doing to try to make up for missing out on intermission when you're eating rum cake and getting your CD signed by the performer, we're going to have a Zoom gathering the next day. That's the 10th at 1 o'clock Colorado time, 2 o'clock Texas time, Austin time, 3 o'clock Virginia Beach time, noon San Diego time. Those are all places relevant to Barbara. And so come be with us then. And we totally understand if Mother's Day weekend is tough for you, you can still show up the way you beautiful people have been. Donate, and then because of the way we're doing it with a YouTube webcast, you can watch it later if it's hard to fit it in with the schedule. But if you can't be with your mama on Mama's Day, you can just buy her a seat and watch the show with her. Or you can come to the Zoom or come to the Zoom session later. If you can't watch the show and you still want to love on Barbara because you know her music, you've been listening to her, and you'll catch the show later, that's no reason to feel any hesitation about coming on Sunday, which actually is Mother's Day. So we're doing that earlier in the day. Hopefully it'll fit in people's schedules. So please do that with us. So, gosh, I've been listening to Barbara's latest album, Someday Maybe Sooner. It's her 5th album. It's so wonderfully produced. It has great instrumentation behind it. It just keeps on the momentum from the albums before, which are lovely too. And it really makes me feeling a little sad about missing her in real time in this show. For one, we do have these intersections in our past. But the other thing is there's such a richness to her music, and the lyrics and the content. She will absolutely knock the wind out of you. And that happened when she was here. And the reason is, this is my interpretation, the reason that Barbara is kind of magical in this way is she's a person like a lot of us who had a difficult beginning, left her home when she was 15. And that can break people. I don't think anybody gets away without some breakage in that. But some people, it can break them open. It really will inform their perspective that they have to listen when the universe is telling them what they need to do with their lives, to follow your joy, to follow your bliss. And she took that invitation, and we are the beneficiaries, because the difficulties, when a resilient person figures out how to navigate coming from a hard beginning and laugh at the hard stuff, it informs a perspective that makes its way into all of her lyrics. And you'll have moments where you're laughing your ass off, and then the next moment there's a tear in your eye. Whoa, what did she just do to me? She does that. I wanted to share. Well, since I said that, I think it's good. Her introduction to the album that, those of us who support her, supported this album production. We get this early look, and she describes it. She says, "This album is a mix of love, heartbreak, hurt, healing, hope, stories, observations, self-doubt, the threat of murder, and so many other little dark and light corners of my heart, and one psycho stalker." There's a richness in there that will help you understand, who this person is and what the evening will be like, how you can get somebody who starts from a place like that. And then, I don't know when she did her first solo flight. She's a licensed pilot. It's just a lot that informs that life. And when she did a show here, let's see, my friend Hetty Brown came, and she brought her 13-year-old son, Sam, and it was, 13. We've been 13. We know what it's about. It's about establishing your independence, and that can be tricky when your relationship with your parent. And it turned out it was just really lovely sharing. I remember Sam, he had sunglasses on all night, even though we were in the backyard and it was dark. He had them on through the whole night because he's cool. Just lovely. And this is what Hetty wrote after the show. She said, "Beautiful night and beautiful music at Little Tree. Barbara Nesbitt is not only talented, but so funny we were in stitches. Around the third, I have poor taste in men, but good taste in whiskey songs. Sam said, we needed her CDs because, wow, Mom, it's like your life set to music." So, Hetty, I hope you come back and you join us again, and you bring your son. It's Mother's Day weekend. You just tell him what you want. He's 20 now, but you can still boss him around. I'd love for you to come back and experience Barbara again. So the thing that's amazing about this person, Barbara's 15 years old. She is out in the world, and somebody sees something in her as there jams around the campfire and puts a guitar in her hands and says, "Play that and sing loud." And within a year, she's being nominated for songwriting competitions. And that's just continued through her career. When she moved to San Diego, she won the Cream of the Crop Award in the San Diego music scene and was named Acoustic Performer of the Year for a magazine there, Rock Flash magazine. And as if that's not enough, moved to Austin, Texas, and just continued winning songwriting and singing awards in a crowded field. Top 3 best songwriter, that's Austin Music Awards. That's no small thing. Top 5 best female singer. Then co-founded a band, the Whiskey Sisters, and immediately best new band, and they won their singing and songwriting, and even landed in the top 10 acoustic guitar in Austin, Texas. That should tell you that you're in for a phenomenal show next Saturday in supporting Barbara Nesbitt. And the people she shared the stage with, it's not a secret. The awards speak for themselves, but she shared the stage and opened for Bonnie Raitt, Willie Nelson, Lyle Lovett, listen to the names, Keller Williams, Lisa Loeb, Nickel Creek, Jerry Garcia Band, Widespread Panic, Bob Weir, Robert Earl Keen. This is a phenomenal phenomenal performer. You would go pay to listen to Barbara Nesbitt sing if all she did were sing, because her voice is angelic. The content is so rich that there are going to be moments where it catches you, because it's not necessary for her to bring all of this to the table. You know, the depth of the lyrics is enough. The guitar playing is enough. The singing is enough, but you get it all together. It's so yummy and lovely. So please come out, support this artist, and support yourself. You don't want to miss participating. And if Mother's Day weekend makes it a little tough, like I said before, go ahead and donate. You can still, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be an either or, because we are doing a webcast, and you can pick your night that works if that night's not working. This is simply a girl with a tremendous angelic voice singing wonderfully crafted songs. San Diego Troubadour. Amen, brother. So, a few technical details. Just a reminder, we're going to start at 7. Don't register early so I can send you email, and we can discover if you have an email address linked to your PayPal account where I'm learning about you that you're not paying attention to. I'm going to request, when I send confirmation email, that people respond to that so we can make sure we're in communication. If we do that earlier, then we won't be dealing with, like we were last show, a minute before showtime. Hey, you never sent me a link. Also, anybody can register for a YouTube account, and you can't make a comment in real time. You can't make a comment to any YouTube video anonymously. You have to register who you are, and you can pick, Happy Snuffleupagus or, Pink Hippie. You can pick whatever name you want. If you don't want people to know exactly who you are, you can delete that account later. But one way we're keeping alive interacting with the audience is the performer and the audience will be commenting on the webcast in real time, so we can have that engagement. And so you need to register to have a YouTube account so you can comment on YouTube videos. And I'm going to give you some pro tips on the best way to do that in email when you register for the show. So give yourself enough time to digest that information that I'll share with you. And then the next day, Mama's Day, 1 o'clock Colorado time, we're going to have a Zoom session with Barbara. So thank all you beautiful people for continuing to show up and support the arts. I love you for that. And if you do something ridiculous, like tip the series, $25 or more, I'm going to send you a coffee mug or a tote bag. I only have like 4 or 5 tote bags. So if you really want that, you better act fast. And if you want rum cake, let me know. I'll send you some rum cake. Or make it yourself. You should do it. It's a Little Tree show. That's what we do. Okay. Let's thank you. And let's get our friends to come and really support Barbara the way we have the last 2 performers. You people have been beautiful.